What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today we're going to be going over some H1Z1 and I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about the game, everything they have done to the game. Since my last video, a lot of you guys know I enjoy playing H1Z1. I play it from time to time, and I still enjoy the game, and I enjoy it a lot more now than I did in the past. They have made a lot of improvements, and I think it's a perfect time for a lot of you guys to give this game a second chance. Or if you haven't tried it, if you have PlayStation 4, it's a free game. I would highly recommend you guys picking this up. First thing we're going to go over is the color upgrade they recently added to the game. If any of you guys have watched my stream on Twitch, you guys will have seen when I play the game, it looks kind of dark, right? Like if you're looking at this gameplay right here, it looks really dark, it looks really foggy, there's no kind of color added to the game. But recently, they had a big update and they changed the color of the game, so the colors stand out a lot more. The colors overall, you can see there's a big difference between the two. It's night and day. Now this update was recently added to the game, so each match will randomly start with either sunny, dusky, or foggy climate, and that has improved how the game looks. The game looks 100% times better. Now if you look at the gameplay side by side, you can see the big difference between the two. You can see the grass is greener, the color on the Jeep is nicer. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited about how that actually makes the game more appealing. People want to watch games like that. When the game is so dark and you can barely see any color, it just makes the game look like it's not well made. It makes the game look like it's an older game. Even though the graphics on this game aren't the best, but I honestly think them adding more color to the game will make people who want to watch this game actually enjoy it a little bit better. So the next thing I want to get into is one of the biggest concerns a lot of people had. They said that the game felt really stiff. They weren't really getting that responsiveness that they really enjoyed. Well, recently they added the aim acceleration options. If you go into your settings, you can go all the way down, and you're going to see right here where it says aim acceleration, and then there's linear, there's high response, and then there's exponential. Now those are the three settings you can put. So the big difference between the three models is linear. Remember, linear ramps your aim based on how far you push the right. Their sensitivity even maxed out. They weren't really getting that responsiveness that they really enjoyed. Well, recently they added the aim acceleration options. If you go into your settings, you can go all the way down. And on high responses, this acceleration model is very responsive and designed for high sensitivity players that want quick camera movements. So a lot of you guys who were complaining about how the controller, how the feel felt real stiff, it wasn't really responding to how fast you wanted to play. So that might be something you guys can do to adjust, and then you'll actually enjoy the game a little bit more. Also, in addition to those three models, the maximum aim movement speed has been increased, so you can turn around faster. This changes affects the three aim acceleration options equally. So everything should be improved a little bit. So linear, exponential, and high response all got a buff already on how fast you can turn around. Now when you switch it a little bit more, that changes everything. Also, you can still change your control sensitivity. I have mine at 70, 60, 60, and then also you can change your vehicle camera sensitivity. They also did recently add a controller dead zone, so you can change this however you want. I think by default it's at 20%, and then depending on what aim acceleration, I think it changes there too. So definitely that's something you guys should check out. Mess with those settings, and then I'm sure you guys will have a better time playing the game. If you haven't heard, duels and squads now have a revive system, so that is something that a lot of you guys were asking for. You guys were kind of upset that if you get shot from far away and you're in cover, your guy can't get you up, you're pretty much dead, and then you have to watch your teammates play. So they listened to a lot of people's concerns, and they did add a revive system in team play. So they added a revive mechanic for duels and fives. Instead of dying, players will now go down to a knockdown state where they will have 60 seconds before they bleed out. Enemies can continue to damage you while you're in a knockdown state, and they can decrease that time. So the more you get hit, the timer goes down. Down players will have an icon on the mini map over their head that flash in group windows. You'll see like a little plus sign, so you know you need to go get your guy. Teammates can rescue you by holding down triangle and returning a small portion of your health, and then as soon as you get up, that's when you pop your med kit or pop your bandages to get your health back up. A team will be eliminated if all remaining members have been killed or in knockdown state. So say if all your teammates go in a knockdown state, everybody gets eliminated, and that's the end of the game. So I think that's a really big improvement. You get knocked down and you can get into a corner where they can't shoot you. Your teammate can either kill them come pick you up, or pick you up and then you guys can get back in the fight. And I think that's a really cool option to have, especially in a battle royale where if you get sniped across the map, you can maybe get into cover and then somebody can get you back up. I know a lot of people have mixed reviews on this. Some people hate revives, some people like revives. I personally like revives. I've been revived a couple times. That's the name of the game. Like, if you get knocked down, you got to get into a corner, kind of hide, and hopefully your guy can come get you. The next big thing I want to talk about is the vehicles. Vehicles have always been a big issue with H1Z1 on PlayStation 4. When you get into the final circle, you get so many people still driving cars. They have full tanks of gas. They can drive around until the circle is no more, and then they just try to out-heal you. Now, a big thing they did to combat the number of current cars in the game, the number of current cars at the end of the game. Now, cars are easier to destroy with most weapons. Pistols take roughly 15% less shots to disable a vehicle, while rifles take around 26% less. However, SMGs, shotguns now take 11% more shots to disable a car. So since SMGs and shotguns are the #1 go-to gun in this game, they decided to increase the amount of damage you have to put on a car with those weapons. Assault rifles and pistols, now they increase the damage you do to those cars. So that's something cool that they did that I really appreciate. Because cars are now easier to destroy, especially in 5s when a whole team can concentrate on the firepower on a car, they've actually toughened them up once they get on fire. So once a car gets on fire, you do have about 20 to 30 seconds to get out of the car. It's not going to blow up right away. But if you stay there and people keep shooting it, sure enough, that car will blow up. But they toughen up the cars a little bit, so that gives you enough time to actually get out of the car. Vehicle fuel change is really big, and I think it's a big improvement for eliminating how many cars you have at the very end. They've had the initial amount of fuel in cars at the very start. So a lot of times cars had 100% fuel. Sometimes you'll get into a car and it only has 50% fuel, and you'll see how fast you run out of that fuel now, because they also increase. When you're driving the car normally, your car will consume roughly 50% faster now. So like the fuel in your car will consume 50% faster. Plus, if you're hitting L1, the boost the whole time, that's going to increase it by 25% on top of that. So cars are running out of gas a lot. I've ran out of gas a couple times since they implemented this. And I think it's a great thing because I've noticed a lot less cars in the final circle. Sometimes you'll have like 1 or 2 cars and still like 10 guys alive. That is actually making a big difference. It's no longer a bunch of people driving around, 100 cars at the end. They changed that, and it's a good thing, guys. And I think you guys should really try the game because I know that turned off a lot of you. The next big thing I want to talk to you guys about, another thing they added to the game to combat cars and combat people just camping in general, is airstrike signals. And at first, I thought this might be a little bit overpowered, but in reality, I think most of the time there's only like 2-3 airstrikes at max you'll find in those crates, because I believe they only come out in military crates randomly, and then also in the gold supply drops that come down. The rare airstrike signal throwable appears in some tier 2 and tier 3 drops, is what they've said. And when thrown, 3 waves of fighter bombs will carpet bomb an area, so be sure to aim precisely and get out of the way. They recently up the damage that these airstrikes do because people were throwing airstrikes on top of people and they weren't dying. I actually got to use one in my last match and I threw it right on top of a full group, and it was 5, so they didn't get killed, but they did get down. And then after the airstrike hit, everybody was able to move towards them and then drop the down guys. So that was something I thought that was pretty cool. Airstrikes is something that I enjoy, and I think it's great for people who are camping in cars and just sitting around. So all these new things that they've been added to the game, from airstrikes to the vehicles take less damage, vehicles run out of gas, the way the game ends now more in cities than in open areas, I think it's gonna be a good thing, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So if you guys haven't tried H1Z1 recently, you guys should definitely give it a second chance. If you haven't tried it at all, download the game. It's 100% free. And if you ever want to watch me playing this game live and you want to see how this game is, I do stream this game live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/nothingbuskills. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions after watching this video, use the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel, it's the first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. Thank you guys again for all the support. You guys have been amazing. But until the next video, Nothing But Skills is out.